Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the New York Empoleon's Week 7 Team Builder and Battle of the SDA. We're here this week taking on Wamar, coach of the Miami Infernapes. And if you have not seen them before, go check them out. Links in the description below, as I can now say are all the coaches in the SDA, since we are actually adding all of their stuff to the descriptions again, which is nice. It was nice to be able to do that. Anyway, my opponent's team is Talonflame, Alolan Persian, Latios, Tauros, Comfey, Rapid Strike Urshifu, Xurkitree, Corviknight, Aurorus, Amoonguss, and Palisand. And we're starting off with Copperajah, which has basically one job, and it's rocks. It's also holding a rocky helmet, just in case like Rapid Strike Urshi wants to be annoying, or like Corviknight wants to like U-turn. It can't just like freely do that. Or Tauros with Body Slam. It's not like totally free, but really the job of this is get rocks up early in the game, and hopefully if we see defog on one of their many defoggers, get them back up again if needed. The moveset on this is Iron Head, Rock Slide, and Power Whip, but those are like less important. They don't really matter. Mostly to cover each of the defoggers, the possible defoggers. Iron Head covers the Comfey, and Rock Slide covers the Talonflame, and then Latios and Corviknight. Not beating them anyway with this thing, so that is what it is. I mean, Iron Head's still going to do good damage to Latios. Corviknight isn't doing anything to me, and I get rocks up, and then it defogs, and I get to switch in safely to something else for free, so that should be fine. This is really just a rocks setter this week. Then we have our Sylveon this week, which is going to be rocking out with a max special defense calm set. So the I didn't talk about the EVs at all on the Copperajah, but it's just max Phys Def. This is max Spadef. It's a switch into Latios, easy mode every time. Answers the Xurkitree in a pinch, and is able to mostly just take any special hit. Baton Pass is really nice, since I come in on the Latios, and then I can Baton Pass out. If it is a setup Latios, Yawn gets through subs and just can make it so like you can't just like Calm Mind stall my Sylveon. Wish into Baton Pass means I can heal whatever I need to heal, and Hyper Voice isn't the most spammable this week, but it is very good. Yes, there's Corviknight and Amoonguss and Talonflame that can all come in on it, but if I'm gonna have one coverage move on a Sylveon, or one move to hit things with, it's gonna be Hyper Voice. That's just what it is. So that's what we're rocking out with this week. Hopefully it does its job, which is basically don't let Latios win the game. Next up is Gengar. This is Specs Gengar because Shadow Ball's good. And where Shadow Ball falls short, Persian, Tauros, Sludge Wave's good. And where those two both don't quite get the job done, Thunderbolt's good. Corviknight, Rapid Strike Urshi. And where all that falls through, Destiny Bond is super useful in a pinch. I wanted to be Scarf because I wanted to make sure the Destiny Bond got off on something, and outspeeding the Persian would be really nice, but the damage from Specs is undeniable. It is insane. This thing is so strong. So mostly just went with the Specs just to be like, pick a sack, basically. If everything is down to like 70%, and I make the right move call, pick a sack. That's just it. Gengar is just so strong in this matchup, just offensively, and I just figured let's lean into the offense here. It's not a sweeper, certainly it's a breaker. It might break hard enough to sweep, but it's not really intended to be a sweeper. It's intended to just get damage off because I have many sweepers coming up next. So next up is my Charizard. This is going to be a very similar set to last week with Dragon Dance, Dual Wing Beat, Flare Blitz, but we are rocking out with the Overheat this week in the last slot. The reason being I don't really need any coverage outside of Flare Blitz and Dual Wing Beat. Those cover basically everything. But I cannot kill an Alolan Persian with a physical attack, basically ever. And if it is bulk up Corviknight and gets set up first, Overheat can go around that and be able to kill it from about 70% without worrying about it being physically defensive and bulked up. So Overheat just gets me around a couple of really strong physical walls, and I don't really care if my special attack goes down because I'm a Dragon Dance set. So I could Overheat, they could go into something thinking they're going to get a safe pivot after I'm at -2 special attack, let's say Comfey or Latios, and then I could potentially just Dragon Dance in their face and then be able to get off big physical attacks afterwards. So this thing is going to be able to come in and hopefully get a couple of kills, and we'll hopefully see it do what it needs to do this week. It is going to be rocking out with the heavy duty boots this week because that you just got on Charizard to make it as valid as possible as a set. But I do like the ability to click Overheat, bait something that thinks that I'm a special attacker, and then Dragon Dance and just proceed to sweep from there. Obviously, Aqua Jet on Urshifu is annoying because it means that I can never really fully Dragon Dance sweep, but I'm not even sure I guarantee expect Aqua Jet on Urshifu, and certainly not on a choice set, because Aqua Jet's not great to lock yourself into. I've got a Maractus and a Heliolisk on this roster, so it just seems like something you don't necessarily want to just lock yourself into. Of course, I'm not bringing either of those Pokemon, but it just seems sketchy at best for Urshifu to lock into it. Oh god, I skipped the best mon on the roster. Confusion Blastoise is coming this week. This thing wins the game. I mean, Shell Smash Blastoise, everyone knows, is just really good. I'm rocking with an Expert Belt, not a Whiter, because I really don't care if my defenses go down, because once I'm set up, I'm either killing everything or not. And we're just going to click Shell Smash one time and then win the game if Urshifu is under 80%. Actually, I should say, if Urshifu is under 85% and rocks are up, Confusion just guarantees a kill on it. It is a way to hit Urshifu and get rid of it, because Surf and Ice Beam, they don't do that, but they do everything else. Persian dies, Latias dies, Tauros dies, Comfey dies, Xurkitree dies. Corviknight can take one Surf if it's at full, but not, it takes like 75%. Aurorus dies, Amoonguss can take one if it's totally full, but even Stealth Rocks puts it in a pretty good range for Ice Beam to kill it at +2, and Palossand dies. So this thing, if I can get any chip and then find a place to set up, which are not that hard to find, because Alolan Persian, Foul Play is scary, but it goes first and then it goes second, so it's very easy to potentially set up on this thing. Latias after a Draco Meteor is absolutely free. Urshifu, that I can confirm is locked into the Surging Strikes, would be another option to just set up on, so it's just got places where it can set up and then just Shell Smash and win the game. So that's what we're going to be rocking out with this week. I went with the Confusion over Zen Headbutt because if I'm running a fully special set, Confusion does more. And lastly, we have Garchomp, which is Swords Dance, Scale Shot, Fire Fang, Earthquake. It's actually the first time I'm running Swords Dance, Scale Shot on a Garchomp this season, and it is the second to last week. I tried really hard not to run this week, but it just seems so justifiable because Corviknight comes in as a pivot, lets me set up a free Swords Dance, doesn't really threaten me, lets me set up a free Scale Shot potentially, or I just click Fire Fang on it, put it in range of the Charizard, put it in range of the Blastoise, because it is one of the mons that can take the hits. And yeah, I mean, this thing just wins the game. So we have 3 mons that can potentially just all sweep. They can all also break for another one to sweep. But really the Blastoise is the big one because it does literally need 20% on Urshifu and like 30% on Corviknight and 10% on Amoonguss, and that's it. And Stealth Rocks goes a long way for those because it just like gets me that chip. That's why I'm bringing the rocks on Copperaja. That's the only reason I'm even really bringing Copper this week. It doesn't have a great matchup, but it does have Stealth Rock, and I wanted Garchomp to do more Garchomp things. So that's what we're rocking out with this week. Hopefully it works. I will see you all back here in a minute with that battle. I don't say take care, everybody, because we're just going to be right back. Hey. Welcome back to the people on the YouTubes. It's battle time. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Let's play Pokemons. Let's go. I'm delirious. I don't know why. Like, I've just been so tired today. Talonflame, Comfey, Amoonguss, Urshifu, Corviknight, and Xurkitree. So no Latias, no Tauros, no Persian. The rest I was not super surprised not to see. Are there any hazards on that team? There are 0 hazards, right? So Boots on Charizard, not that useful. Blastoise is still going to just go bananas. Possible leads. Talonflame, Urshi, Zerk. Zerk's a very probable lead. And it could be Scarf Zerk. I am Roselli Berry. I don't think I said this on the team builder, but I am Roselli Berry on Charizard. Nope. On Garchomp because of the Xurkitree spamming Dazzling Gleam. I can actually take a +2 Dazzling Gleam. I kind of want to just lead with Gengar. Is that bad? Is that a bad lead? I don't think that's a bad lead. Like, you could lead with Urshi, but then I can scout if you're Scarfed. Because if you're not Scarfed, Sludge Wave or Thunderbolt just kill. Thunderbolt's free. Like, yeah, you get a Amoonguss, but like... That's what I thought. Are you Scarf Zerk? Because Sludge Wave kills if you're not. Thunderbolt doesn't kill me. So... Just gonna Sludge Wave. If you go hard Corviknight, then you're the realist. I guess. Not that real. Kinda real. Who dat? Amoonguss? Well, now you're about to find out that I'm Scarfed. Or Specs, I mean. But, that's especially defensive Amoonguss if I've ever seen it. So there's no real reason to stay in right now. You're probably gonna Spore. That's a reason to stay in right now, if you Spore. But you could go Corviknight, but I don't really... I have switches to Corviknight, so I'm just going to Sludge Wave again. You could just go Hard Corv. You could either Spore or go Hard Corv. If you're actually Sporing, this is what I want to sleep. Weirdly enough, Amoonguss to 20% and then sleeping Gengar is actually what I prefer. So you're going to go Hard Corv now. You know that I'm Specs, based on the damage that I did. So I thought about predicting that. Oh. 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 Well, that's significant damage. That's not the Mon I was expecting. You're never clicking close combat right now. So I'm just going to go into Copper. Because if you Surging Strikes and you're not protective pads, I think you just die. I'm sad because it means that Confusion isn't that useful. Switches into Corviknight now. It has to be Corviknight now, right? Yeah, okay. So that's free rocks. You could defog, but like I'm not too stressed about it. It has to be. Those rocks are not as free as I thought they were. I'll tell you what. Those rocks are not as free as I thought they were. Huh. Fascinating. Okay. Does this thing get like agility? Because like agility nasty plot kind of goes in right now. No lie. I think I just go Zard here. Do you get agility? I don't actually know. Now my big concern is it could also be weakness policy, but Hurricane? That's gonna hurt. Oh, we lived that. Can't afford to switch. Can't afford to switch. Breakthrough. Overheat. Okay, that just puts you in range of like basically anything that's faster than you. Wow, you landed 2 Hurricanes and got a Confusion. This guy. Alright, so Corviknight kills Charizard with Hurricane. So now anything that outspeeds it can just do work. And I'm just going to go Gengar at this point and click Shadow Ball. I clicked Sludge Wave last time, but looking at it again, Shadow Ball's just really solid here. Because it's neutral on every single target. And Thunderbolt lets the Xurkitree back in. Shadow Ball lets the Amoonguss... I mean, the Amoonguss can come in either way. But you have to sack your Corv here. Oh, I was supposed to make you all emote-only mode a long time ago. Well, you're emote-only mode now. I was not looking at chat until this minute. That's why I didn't even notice. But we're just going to kill this thing with Shadow Ball. You know I'm Specs, so now you know I'm locked into it. Kills Corviknight with Shadow Ball. I think that crit might have mattered. Sorry. Sorry that I got a crit. So Amoonguss is going to pivot through here. And I'm just going to Shadow Ball because, again, I have nothing else I'd rather be asleep right now. Well, actually the Copper could be asleep right now. I don't need the Copper. I literally don't need the Copper to do anything else. It got rocks up, and the Corviknight's dead, so you have no other removal. Well, you have Talonflame, I guess, and Comfey, but still. This is the easiest thing to put to sleep in the world, so. Stomping Tantrum Amoonguss. This is a guy with sets. This is a player that I am playing against that has sets, y'all. Corviknight's dead, which makes Ironhead barely free. Zerk could come in on that. Talonflame could also come in on that. Maybe Rock Slide is freer. But I'm just going to Ironhead here, because I think the Amoonguss is going to stay in to try to get this thing spored. Never mind. His Regenerator. Urshi comes back in. Okay. So now I sack this, right? Because I don't need it for anything. I'm not going to go Gengar. I just sack this and click Rock Slide because if I do survive whatever you're doing, you saw an Ironhead and you're going into Talonflame. When does the recovery versus the Rocky Helmet happen? I actually lived that. Recovery happens first. Sad. Sad. Should have just clicked Ironhead again there, but oh well. You're exactly where you started. And you'll be lower this time because I'm already weakened, so... You saw Rock Slide, you're not going Talonflame now. So I guess the play is to click, I don't know, if you overpredict something, just going Ironhead. Or Power Whip. I guess it's Power Whip, but I'm gonna click Rock Slide again. I don't think that's that. Actually, don't think that's the right play, but because you're not gonna get enough recovery out of this. And if I don't care if you're Scarfed, I just go Gengar. Okay, so we know you're not Scarfed. Actually, do I live this? I might live one hit and then you die to the Rocky Helmet. That was the wrong play. I think Drain Punch was a better play there. So Urshifu dies to Rocky Helmet, Paparaja. I think Drain Punch was the right play there. I don't think Surging Strikes was the play because it does hit the Rocky Helmet on the first strike and then you just stop hitting me so I survive it. Or it was intentional because you wanted your Xurkitree to get in safely to set up here? What are you setting up? Because Garchomp lives a +1 Dazzling Gleam every time. So I don't even stress about it. I just click Ironhead's guaranteed damage, and I don't need damage really. So T-Bolt comes out. So Xurkitree kills Paparaja with Thunderbolt. Special attack, that's not surprising. So I could Swords Dance. I actually wonder if Scale Shot, just straight up Scale Shot's the best play here, because Talonflame should come in here. And then it's just going to try to Willow anyway. So I'm just going to Scale Shot. If this thing stays in and goes for a Dazzling Gleam, it stays and goes for Dazzling Gleam, but... Okay. Stayed in. That's fine, though. I'll just Earthquake here. We're living this Dazzling Gleam. And now we outspeed the Talonflame if it does come in, so I'm not super stressed about it. So I can just Earthquake here. I could Scale Shot again, but it can miss, so... Rather just go for the Earthquake, even though the Talonflame could come in on it. You're probably going to preserve this. I should have Swords Dance there. Well, that's risky. But Zerk is scary. I mean, I do have the Sylveon that's max specially defensive, so Sylveon should be able to live a hit from the Xurkitree. We know it's not choice anyway. So Comfey comes out. We're just going to Earthquake into that. Now you have the Draining Kiss. And I don't really want to see that. So we're going to switch, which... don't love. But Gengar comes in on Draining Kiss happily. Doesn't care. And fires off more attacks. And now it can fire off Sludge Waves again. I could also just go Sylveon, but I don't want to, so I'm just going to go Gengar here. Because Draining Kiss... Actually, Draining Kiss might not kill anyway, but it might. I don't know how to predict this person's sets, so I'm just playing around the most likely things. And right now, it's Click Sludge Wave. That shouldn't matter. You're going to switch anyway. Amoonguss can come in. This is the strongest thing I can hit it with, though. With Copper down, is Amoonguss a problem? Unclear. This might 2-hit KO it. Sacking off the Zerk here. That was a huge problem for my team, so I'll take it. Little Zerkatry with Sludge Wave. So Gengar beats Comfey. Amoonguss comes in, takes rocks. Clicks Stomping Tantrum, I guess, to try to catch the Gengar here. But I have no reason to sack it right now. I could just go Garchomp, but I don't really want that falling asleep. I'm worried that, like, you're going to put something to sleep and then... Actually, can I live a Stomping Tantrum from an Amoonguss that's fully specially defensive? Oh, yeah, easily. Okay. Yeah. And you are clearly specially defensive, so... If you Spore, you Spore. You know? You get drained. Keeps you out of range of one more Sludge Wave. Maybe. It's actually a roll. It's a roll to max specially defensive Calm Amoonguss. It says 46 to 54%. That's at 51%, so just a flat-out pretty much 50-50 roll. I'm still out of range of an uninvested Stomping Tantrum. Well, that's actually minus attack Stomping Tantrum. Which I don't know why. I guess you might be. You're mixed. Oh, you're probably minus speed. You're probably sassy. It does max 90 damage. What am I at? Switches out. So now you're going to go Talonflame off of this sack. So Gengar kills Comfey with Sludge Wave. Okay. So now you're going back into Amoonguss, or you're going Talonflame off the sack to try to hit the Gengar harder. What is my answer to Talonflame, honestly? It's not Boots. What are you? Oh, right, Blastoise. Yeah, I can't let you set up Swords Dance. I stay in. Like, does a Choice Banded Talonflame kill Blastoise with a Brave Bird? Two, Adamant, Choice Band. No. Cannot kill. Wow. Cannot kill Blastoise. So I just smash. I mean, I guess no. I guess the play would be Brave Bird into switch into Quick Attack, but then you're banded into Quick Attack. So there's another Brave Bird. Should not kill. Yep. Looks like you actually are banded too, which is fun. But we're just gonna smash here. I'm gonna click Confusion, y'all. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's objectively not optimal. Now let me calc. I don't think it does. To a max specially defensive Amoonguss, which is so sad. No, it only does 51%, so we have to Ice Beam here. Which is so tragic. Absolutely tragic, but this should kill. Even max specially defensive. Oh, okay. You were just above 76% then. Because that was the roll that would need in order to kill, which I didn't get. So, Amoonguss kills Blastoise with Giga Drain. But you're specially defensive, not physically defensive. And Garchomp should do plenty here with an Earthquake. Which does marginally more than a Fire Fang. And potentially less than a Scale Shot. But you know what I'm not clicking? A not 100% accurate move. Wow, there was a bunch of meaningless crits in this game. I don't think I've seen more crits kill mons that didn't need to be crit in a long time. That was just like every mon died to a crit. Urshifu even killed itself with a crit. Thanks, Surging Strikes. But yeah, we managed to pick up a 2-0 victory this week in the SDA. That is the second to last week of the SDA regular season. As you can see by the name of this battle. It's the penultimate week. There are only one more regular season battle, and I think we just clinched a playoff spot with that. So our differential is really bad, actually. So we're probably going to be pretty low down the playoff ranking, just because I think every other team that's 5-2 or better has a differential at least like 10 points higher than me. I think I'm 5-2, like +6. I don't know why. My differential's terrible. So, we're gonna hopefully manage to, you know, keep this ball rolling. We're on a 5-game winning streak now. But we've only got 1 week left in the regular season. Locking up playoffs. I think, like 90% sure I locked up playoffs here. If not, I still got next week to do it. So, that'll do it for me this week. Hopefully you all enjoyed this battle. I will see you all back here next week for the final week of the SDA. And I do have a surprise about where I will be streaming and recording that battle from. But of course, you'll have to wait until next week to see that. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.